Beer here back at the Fantasy Bar, big Friday night in MLB, and I'm back with 6 of my favorite plays, including a couple of studs that have been struggling, I think, get it going tonight. My favorite value play on the slate, a starting pitcher with big-time upside in the strikeout department, and my favorite stack of the night, which includes my favorite play of the night, the beast of the night. Who is it? Belly up to the Fantasy Bar and find out. Welcome in, guys. Friday edition Beers Daily Fantasy Six-Pack. Good to be back here once again in the Fantasy Bar, providing 6 of my favorite plays for Friday night, fresh off the tap for you. Thank you, as always, for stopping by and checking out the video. Before we get into things, as always, couple things. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. You guys know the drill by now. Also, make sure you head over to scoresandodds.com/beer for all of your sports betting needs, analytics, premium picks, the ability to compare odds across a bunch of different sports books, and tons of other betting information, guys. It's an invaluable tool if you're looking into becoming a sports bettor. If you're already a sports bettor, why not have as much information as possible? And that's what we are trying to provide you over at scoresandodds.com/beer. The link in the description right below the video. Get signed up for a weekly, monthly, or yearly subscription today, guys. Go take advantage of that special pricing. All right, let's dive into the slate tonight. We got a lot of games on the docket. I've narrowed it down to 6 of my favorite plays. Let's start with a high-end bat I think is in a good spot tonight, Max Muncy of the Dodgers. So I think this one we're going to get a little bit of recency bias. Has not been great lately. The numbers don't look good. So with all these teams playing, it's very easy to just kind of look towards the next team. I think that's a mistake here with Max Muncy. Matches up very well here with old Mike Foltynewicz, who we'll talk about here momentarily. But let's focus on Muncy. We know the numbers good against righties. What really jumped off the page, the fastballs. He hits this pitch very well. Now, Foltynewicz uses a ton of different pitches, but this one he's going to use about a third of the time on average against lefties. And again, you can find this information in our Plate IQ tool here on RotoGrinders, but 447 WOBA and almost a 400 ISO against that pitch. And we know Folty has struggled with lefties over the course of his entire career. You see that fly ball rate, hard contact rate. We know that can lead to home runs. WOBA over 400 allowed, ISO over 300 allowed, so giving up a ton of power. So as you see, a lot of reasons we like Max Muncy here tonight. Don't be afraid to pay that price on DraftKings and FanDuel, a value under 4K. Leading us off here tonight in the 6-pack. All right, let's go to the outfield here for our next play. We're going with YORDAN ALVAREZ of the Astros. Now we go from a guy that's not hitting the ball well to a guy that is. The last couple games really been on a tear here, averaging almost 17 DraftKings points per game, back-to-back multi-hit games for him here. Good numbers against righties, almost a 370 WOBA over the last couple seasons here. And Shoemaker, much like Folty, has struggled with lefties, almost a 400 WOBA allowed. And this dates back to the last 2 seasons, so has not figured out lefties here. Giving up a lot of hard contact as well, 41% in that department, and the ISO at 228. So another guy giving up some power here. We know that's the name of the game with YORDAN ALVAREZ, and I think he takes Shoemaker yard here tonight and continues this tear at the plate. All right, let's go to the starting pitcher position. Obviously, a lot of studs on this slate. DeGrom, Scherzer. We're going to go up there, but we're not going with those guys. We're going with Brandon Woodruff of the Brewers. Now, I think this is an interesting dynamic. Obviously, he's not the big name amongst these guys, and I think that'll help drive down the ownership when you can spend similar money on a DeGrom, who's been great, no doubt. Phenomenal option tonight. But Woodruff, I think, is going to be the lowest owned of these higher-end options. So let's take a look at some of the numbers and why I really like him tonight. First of all, let's look at history against current Pirates hitters. 36% strikeout rate against these guys, and a decent sample size there, over 60 at-bats. Let's look at recent form. 8 or more strikeouts in 5 of his last 6 starts. In fact, double-digit strikeouts in 3 of those starts. So he checks that box as well. And let's look at the opponent here, Pittsburgh. Now, strikeouts, they're not as high as I would like to see them, but all the other categories, dead last in WOBA, in all of baseball against right-handed pitching. Dead last in ISO in all of baseball against right-handed pitching. You get the point. I could continue on with a bunch of stats here. The point is, this is a very punchless Pittsburgh lineup. This is a pitcher who can rack up as many strikeouts and get the same kind of numbers that those other guys can give you at a lower ownership number. Why not take advantage of that in your tournaments? A lot of ways people can go tonight at pitcher. I don't think Woodruff's going to be one of those primary options people are looking at, and I think that's a mistake. So low owned, good matchup, high strikeout upside. Brandon Woodruff, my favorite pitcher on tonight's slate. All right, let's get back to the bats. Promised you my favorite value play, and that's outfielder Andrew Vaughn of the White Sox. So great value here. Anytime you get a guy like this under 4K on DraftKings, we take advantage, almost minimum price over on FanDuel. So the price just hasn't had a chance to catch up to what this guy's been doing and putting up solid numbers, especially against left-handed pitching this season. You see that big time 396 ISO and a WOBA over 400. Good fastball hitter here as well. We know Skubal loves to throw that pitch, and giving up a lot of power is Skubal. 274 ISO, 2 right-handed hitters this season, along with a WOBA at almost 350. So Vaughn just too cheap, big-time power upside. Take advantage, especially over on FanDuel at just 2,200. All right, let's stay in the outfield. We're going to spend some money here on our next play with Nick Castellanos of the Reds. Well, Castellanos swinging a good bat right now. 6 multi-hit games from him over the last 10. Now, the fantasy production not been great with that because we haven't seen the power out of him. Has not hit a home run over that stretch, but the home runs are coming. When you're hitting the ball, you're putting the ball in play multiple times per game. It's only a matter of time before those home runs start coming, especially with the numbers this guy's showing. I mean, an ISO 341 against lefties, plenty of power in that bat, but a big-time 490 weighted OBA. So it's really been dominant against lefties this season, and Freeland been pretty solid against righties, but does give up almost a 390 WOBA, and that strikeout rate against righties, just 9% here. So I think contact is definitely going to be in order here for Nick Castellanos, and I think a home run's coming here as well. Pay those prices here. Nick Castellanos in a phenomenal spot here tonight against Kyle Freeland. All right, it's time to take a look at my favorite play for Friday night. But before we do that, we want to continue our Beast of the Night contest. Absolutely free to play. This is a thank you to you guys for checking out the video. Simply get in the comment section right below the video and guess fantasy points on FanDuel for my highest scoring hitter of the 5 bats I'm going to give you. All I need is the fantasy points. The closest guess will win either a free 3-day pass to RotoGrinders Premium or a free RotoGrinders t-shirt. Let's wrap this baby up. Let's wrap this week up. My favorite play for Friday night. You know him as the Beast of the Night. All right, Beast time, and I promised you a stack in the open. We're going to do just that right now. We're going to go back to the Chicago White Sox. We're going to first base with Jose Abreu, tonight's Beast of the Night. Now, we kind of had bookend studs that are struggling a little bit. We started with Max Muncy. We're going to end here with Jose Abreu. Very quiet of late, and I think this bat's really going to get a wake-up call here tonight. Let's dig into some of the numbers here. Against left-handed pitching, you see that massive 362 ISO. WOBA in that same area at 373. Also, very good fastball hitter. We talked about it with Vaughn. Same thing here for Abreu, 410 WOBA against that pitch. And Skubal going to throw that over half the time against right-handed hitters. And Skubal giving up a lot of fly balls, which is what I really like here with Chicago tonight. With these power bats who want to get the ball up in the air. 57% fly ball rate for Skubal to righties this season, along with a 35% hard contact rate. We know that leads to home runs, and the numbers bear that out. It's already allowed 12 home runs to right-handed hitters, and we're barely halfway through the season here. So I think Abreu wakes up in a big-time spot here tonight, gets it done, gets it going, and has a huge night against Skubal. Jose Abreu, easily my favorite play on the board in tonight's Beast of the Night. All right, guys, that wraps up here for Friday night in the Fantasy Bar. Any comments, questions, feedback, hit me up in that comment section right below the video. Don't forget, fantasy points from my highest scoring hitter on FanDuel or your shot at some free RotoGrinders Premium. And go take advantage of all the information over at scoresandodds.com/beer. That link in the description of the video. Go check it out today. For RotoGrinders.com, I am Beer saying salut. Best of luck here tonight, guys. Have a great weekend. Thank you for watching. We're out.
Hey, thanks for checking out our videos. If you want more expert advice on DraftKings, FanDuel, or any other daily fantasy sports, make sure you check out the current videos playlist